Hi YouTube family, welcome back to my channel. Well, today is a very sad and somber day. All my children are home feeling sick with their asthma. If you're new to my channel, I am a single mother of 4, but I have 3 children who have chronic asthma and they are all homesick right now. I would like to share with you guys the story of when I first found out that my children had asthma and the life that I have had to endure because of my children being sick with asthma. It's not their fault. I am so grateful that I have been here for them, to take care of them, and learning more and more about asthma. Asthma does not run on my side of the family. They got their asthma from their father. He was very sickly when he was growing up. He said he used to always be in the hospitals every holiday, and I didn't know anything about it. I didn't think to ask him when we got together or when we got married, and I didn't know the signs. I didn't know what was wrong with my first child that I had. My son Adrian was the first child that I saw have an asthma attack at 5 months old. I almost lost him that day, not knowing what was going on. I knew something was wrong with my son, but I didn't know what it was. And my husband, their father, acted like there was nothing wrong with him. He acted like he didn't know what was wrong with our son, and he actually laid there and fell back to sleep and didn't care. And I forced him and told him that if he doesn't get up and take us to the hospital, that I am leaving without him. And that was the day in 2002, because my son was born in December 2001. In 2002, I found out that my son had asthma. And ever since then, I have almost lost him to asthma many a times, you guys. Many a times. I just got everybody on their machines right now, on the nebulizer machines, and they're getting their treatments. Hi YouTube family. So like I said, I am a single mother of 4 kids and 3 have chronic asthma. My first son Adrian, he was born in December 2001 and he was diagnosed at 5 months in 2002 with chronic asthma. I didn't know any of the signs of asthma. Like I said, it never ran in my family, so I had no idea what asthma was. I didn't know what it meant. Never even encountered anyone who had asthma or had an asthma attack. Like I said, my ex-husband, he was born with asthma. He had chronic asthma. He said that he was hospitalized throughout all the holidays, and he never ever told me, and I never ever thought to ask him about his medical history or any illnesses or sicknesses that run in his family or that he had, until our son Adrian at 5 months had a severe asthma attack, and I had to rush him to the hospital and he almost died. And I was terrified, of course, as a mother, not knowing that what was going on with my baby and being told that I almost lost my son. I have spent many nights in the emergency. I have spent many days in the hospital with all 3 of my children from having asthma attacks. Them having chronic asthma has prevented them from being able to go to daycare, to play outside, to play sports, to be around lots of people. They miss lots of school every single year due to their asthma. They have allergies very badly, and if they get allergies or if they catch any kind of sickness, their asthma just goes out of control and they are done for weeks at a time. When they were little, Adrian, Andrew, and Paris used to get asthma sick together, and they would all be home for 2 or 3 weeks at a time. And I used to always get so much trouble when they started going to school. The schools would harass me. They would send me threatening letters telling me that I would have to pay citations, that I would be threatened to go to jail, all kinds of things due to my children being ill and chronically sick with asthma. I would have to go to their doctors and get medical paperwork signed and documented on their to have in their school files at school, just to keep me out of jail and to keep me from paying fines for my children missing a lot of school or being late to school due to asthma treatments and things like that. It's been a very tough road. I don't blame my children. It's not their fault that they were passed down a generational curse of asthma, because that's what it is. It's just a curse that is trying to destroy them and take them out. But I am a believer in Jesus Christ, and I have been praying over them and laying hands on them that the Lord will deliver them from this evil disease that is trying to take their lives. And it's scary, you know. Every time they have an asthma attack, it's like the first time. You never get used to it. At least I don't ever get used to it. I always get nervous. I always get scared, because asthma is no joke. When your windpipe is closing and closing and closing, where you get to the point where you can barely get any air through that pipe, that is a very scary thing, because once it gets too bad, it can get to the point where no one or nothing can help open that airway, and then that's it. And there has been so many scary moments with Adrian and Andrew and Paris that I cannot name you. It has been so difficult, you guys. Like I said, they have spent majority of their life, especially when they were younger, being home. And it has prevented me from being able to keep a job, because I had to be home with them constantly, taking care of them. No job would ever allow me to be off for 2-3 weeks at a time with children. So I have had to be their caretakers, and I have sacrificed a lot, and I don't regret it one bit. I am so grateful that the Lord has blessed me to be there for my children, to take care of my children, to love on them, and to make sure they're okay. When they were growing up, a lot of the times me and their father had to stay home and not do a lot of things due to their sickness. And I wanted to be there for them. I didn't want to leave my children with other people and allow them to have to endure this serious responsibility. It's scary enough for me to deal with. I couldn't imagine leaving a stranger or a family member to deal with such a scary condition of a child having an asthma attack. Their father used to be so angry and resentful that they were sickly, and he didn't care that they got sick. He just wanted to leave them. He wanted to do things. He was angry about it. He didn't understand that they needed us, you know. And it's pretty crazy for him to behave and be so hateful and so angry and resentful toward the kids when they got sick, when he's the one who passed it down to them. He should have been the most sympathetic and understanding and helpful as he could be with them, but he wasn't helpful. I literally felt like a single mother even when I was married to him, because I did not get the support or the help that I needed from their father. He did not take it serious. He did not help with late night asthma treatments. I would be up around the clock for 2-3 weeks at a time, giving treatments every 4 hours, sometimes every 3 hours. If I overslept, that could have mean a life and death situation for our children, that they had to have their treatments on schedule. So I was up and I was so exhausted, but I couldn't sleep because my babies needed me. But you know, it took a toll on our marriage. You know, I was very angry and resentful of him because I felt like he should have been there for our children and also been there for me. I needed help. I was exhausted. And a lot of the times I couldn't depend on him to be there for me and the kids. And we went through a lot, I would have never imagined that all three of my children would be chronically ill with asthma. It's really been some scary, very scary times where, like I said, I have almost lost all three of my children, and it has been really, really mentally hard on me to see my children sick like that, where they go weeks without eating and you can see their ribs and their lungs they're just laying there getting treatments every 3 to 4 hours, and they're not talking, they're not walking, they're not doing anything but just laying there getting treatments. And it was so scary. I know there were plenty of weeks that I would just be down on my knees at their bedside just praying for the Lord to open their lungs and to deliver them from this awful sickness called asthma, and I never lost faith, but I just totally had this fear that I was going to lose my children to this. I always had a fear in the back of my mind that I would lose my kids. I was so scared when they would go to school that they would get sick and that I wouldn't be there for them. Back home in California, I met a lot of women who had children with asthma who were stay-at-home moms like I was. And one of the women unfortunately lost her daughter at school. She was playing PE, swimming, and she started having an asthma attack and she passed away in high school. And that was one of my biggest fears. And when she told me that story, my heart broke for her. I just cried, and I couldn't just imagine how she feels, because that is one of my worst nightmares and worst fears, is to hear that my child is having an attack and I can't do anything to help them, or that they don't make it, But God has been so good, and He has sustained us. He has touched them, and with all the praying of my mother and me and other people who are believers in our churches and things like that, has been a blessing, And like I said, they will go weeks without talking or eating, and then one day the Lord just touched them and they wake up and they're smiling again and laughing again. But the recovery is so slow. When they have a serious asthma attack, even after they come out of it, they're so weak and so tired from their asthma attacks that it still takes another week to recover from such a bad asthma attack. When they get admitted in the hospital, they don't release them for a week or two, depending on how bad the asthma attack is. So they do miss a lot of school, and these schools do not understand asthma attacks. They do not understand that asthma is very serious, that you cannot just send your child to school when they are asthma sick. It's just not safe. It's not, a good idea, because things can get out of control really, really fast with asthma. Asthma is a fast sickness that gets out of control quickly. Before you know it, that child can stop breathing, or that person can stop breathing. And I've seen it. I've seen it where it looked like my child, their chest was just beating so fast that it looked like their heart couldn't take it anymore. And I was just like, Lord, please touch my child, touch my children in the name and in the blood of Jesus. Heal them, open up their lungs. And I know that even though they're getting the medication that they're getting, that only Jesus can heal. Only Jesus opens up their lungs and their airway. And I'm just so grateful for that. But it's just so scary, you guys. I mean, literally, like I said, this has been a long, scary road that I have been doing all by myself. When I was married, like I said, I did not get the support that I deserved and needed for me or my children. He was very abusive and very angry and very resentful of the situation with the children, and it was just really, really hard. I've had to call on lots of family members to help take me to the hospital or the ER, the emergency, in the middle of the night, because he didn't want to go, he didn't care, or he didn't think it was serious enough to take them. And it was just very, very hard, you guys. I wouldn't change anything. I never questioned the Lord or why he gave me 3 children with chronic asthma. I never questioned my life and the road that I have had to take, and endure, because I have 3 children with chronic asthma. I am truly blessed. I love my children so much. This has made me even closer to my children and the bond with my children because of all the things that we have been through. I am grateful that the Lord has blessed me to be their sole caretakers for their health and just raising them. And I'm blessed and I'm grateful, and I'm just grateful to him for keeping his hands on my children and keeping them from, allowing this asthma to take over and to take them out. I know that they are chosen. I know that they are meant to be here. And I just cannot wait to testify of their deliverance from this asthma. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share this video with everybody that you know. Comment below and let me know, you guys, do you have asthma in your family? Do you have asthma? Have you experienced anyone getting so ill from asthma that you almost lost them? Comment below. Let's talk about this. Let me know, do any of my subscribers have any history of asthma in their family? Do they know anything about asthma? Like I said, it has been very tough. They don't get sick as much as they used to, but when they do, it's really bad. Thank you to all my old subbies, and thank you to all my new subbies. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to every vlog and every video and every review that I upload on my channel. You guys are truly a blessing. I am so grateful for all my followers and all my subscribers. God bless you guys. I love you guys so much.